Hello, and thanks for joining us. This is the Signature TV 30 Minutes. I am Vin Martin Obiora Ilo. In the headlines, Gowon denies looting half of Central Bank of Nigeria. Nigerian government approaches UK over proposed end-SARS sanctions. Military interference, poor funding, others constitute challenges to human rights in Nigeria. El-Rufai kicks against zoning of leadership positions. And now for the rest of the story. A former Nigerian military head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, has described allegations that he looted half of the Central Bank of Nigeria as rubbish. A member of the British Parliament, Tom Tugendhat, had during the UK Parliament Committee debate on a petition on the end-SARS crisis accused Gowon of looting Nigeria's treasury when he left office. Tugendhat had urged the UK to call out corruption and use her powers to stop those who profit from Nigeria's wealth or hide ill-gotten wealth in foreign countries. Tugendhat, however, did not provide any evidence to support his claim. In reaction to the remark, Gowon told BBC, "I don't know where he got that rubbish from. I served Nigeria diligently and my records are there for all to see." Gowon described the MP's statement as ridiculous and a mere fallacy cooked up to dent his image, adding that he served Nigeria as much as he could and his achievements during those years are available to everyone. The federal government of Nigeria has said it was in touch with officials of the British government to present its side of the end-SARS story. This comes after the resolution of the United Kingdom Parliament to impose sanctions on some Nigerian officials over their role in the violent suppression of the protest. Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Onyeama told State House correspondents at the end of the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja that it was not within the purview of the legislators to impose restrictions, but added that it was necessary to espouse Nigeria's position for an informed decision. He said the UK government has been briefed. There was a UK parliamentarian meeting, and the UK government, which acts for the United Kingdom, has also heard the side of the Nigerian story regarding everything that happened. The UK parliamentary resolution on the end-SARS also called on other countries, including United States of America, France, the United Arab Emirates, and South Africa to impose similar sanctions against indicted officials of the Buhari administration for human rights violations and crimes against humanity. The Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, Tony Ojukwu, has been speaking on the challenges before his commission. Ojukwu, who was speaking on Signature Show to be aired on the network service of AIT on Sunday at 2 p.m., said that military interference and poor funding were some of the challenges impeding the Commission from carrying out its assigned duties. This is coming as the world is set to commemorate the World Human Rights Day, marked annually on the 10th of December of every year.
In the course of the military period, which had dominated our life predominantly before 1999, most Nigerians think in the military way. And of course, during military rule, the greatest casualty is human rights. In fact, the human rights chapter of the Constitution is usually suspended. So most of us have known our lives in an environment where respect for human rights is pushed to the back. So you are now talking about human rights, and people think you are saying something that is really out of the ordinary, something that is not normal to them. And for instance, the government is supposed to promote and protect the human rights of the people. How does government do this? Through its agencies. the police, the military, Human Rights Commission, ministries, agencies, and so on and so forth. And then, if you look at the records also, you find out that the major violators of human rights is also the government. Because the primary responsibility to promote and protect human rights under the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights is the government, the primary responsibility. Under the Constitution also is the government. Now, so when law enforcement agents like the police are violating rights, it's government. When the military is violating human rights, it's the government. So that culture of military rule over the years, when human rights was subjugated to the background, is still living with us today. If you look at human rights situation in this country, it has been worsened by the action of law enforcement agents. The greatest challenge we have for promotion and protection of human rights is the culture of military rule, which is becoming so difficult to remove from our society. Of course, the issue of funding is there. You can never wish that away, because the capacity, your ability to defend people's rights depends on the resources available to you. For instance, if I need a forensic expert to analyze a human rights violation to come to a conclusion and I cannot afford it, then I'm restricted by the limits of the resources I have. If I'm supposed to monitor in 36 states and I only have resources to monitor in 2 states, I'm restricted to the resources I have to monitor in the 2 states.
For more on this interview with Tony Ojukwu, the Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, join us on the Signature Show this Sunday on AIT at 2 p.m. Nigerian time. The Kaduna-Abuja train has broken down again, leaving passengers stranded. This time it broke down in the bush and in the middle of the night. Last Friday, the train service broke down, which made Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi to apologize to Nigerians. It, however, didn't take long for it to happen again, leaving the passengers stranded in the middle of the bush. The passengers were seen protesting the incident inside the train, and the train attendants were seen trying to calm the passengers who questioned the rationale for moving a faulty train just to risk their lives. Friday, train passengers were stranded for hours in the bush on the Kaduna-Abuja Railroad. A video circulated on social media showed passengers taking fresh air outside the train while the faulty train was being attended to.
You know the reason why you have what it is? This is 2 a.m. This is 2 a.m. This is not happening. But what kind of problem is this? No, they should tell us now. Let's know what the problem is. If we are keeping quiet, they are not doing anything. We are keeping quiet. We are keeping quiet, they are not doing anything. See, we are in the middle of the bush. This is 2 a.m.
We have so many flights to catch. It's quiet. Oh, you want to protest now? Now they are protesting. It has helped. Let them make us feel safe. Sir, it has helped. I came on the train because I was scared of them. They should say something.
Why would they move the train?
We're not safe.
Why would they move the train at first?
They will listen. They are very
Why are they
stupid
moving it?
people. They are very unprofessional people.
Why are they moving it?
Talk to us.
The train is not working. Why are they moving it? You are telling people, we have families. I have a daughter.
Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has again kicked against zoning of political leadership positions, saying no country progresses with such an arrangement. Speaking at the Nigerian Economic Summit in Abuja, the governor said every qualified person should be given equal opportunity to contest for political positions. El-Rufai added that in Nigeria, political offices, especially the presidency, are rotated on the basis of geographical zones from the time of Olusegun Obasanjo up till the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, who is from Katsina State. With the 2023 election roughly 2 years away, some Nigerians have started clamoring that the presidency should return to the South. Speaking at a plenary session at the summit on Tuesday, El-Rufai said Nigeria has failed to make serious progress over the years because of the culture of rotating leaders. The governor who said leaders should not be selected by zones or political parties, as this will lead to inefficiency, also added that what can be done is to give every society a framework of equal opportunity. The Nigerian AntiReligious Council, NIREC, says peace is possible in Nigeria, charging adherents of the various faiths to take the mission of peace as a priority in order to move the country forward. SignatureTV correspondent Damilola Abudu reports on the fourth quarter annual meeting of NIREC held in Abuja on Thursday.
The Nigerian AntiReligious Council, NIREC, has charged adherents of various religions to take the mission of peace as a priority. Speaking at the fourth quarter meeting of the council, the chairman, Reverend Father Cornelius Omonokwa, said Christians and Muslims are called to live in peace and therefore should see each other as brothers. According to the Reverend Father, since 1999, NIREC has actively given counter-narrative to the strategy of the terrorists and mischief makers. Also speaking at the event, the Secretary General of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, attributed the insecurity being experienced in the country to the lack of proper orientation of citizens.
The theme for this fourth quarter 2020 meeting, Question for Peace in the Challenges of Insecurity and COVID-19, is very apt, considering the fact that peace and security are very critical ingredients for growth and development. I have always attributed the lack of peace, the high tense atmosphere in which we live and congregate, because of the breakdown of our value systems and the relegation of our traditional institutions.
He therefore charged NIREC to use its network of religious and traditional rulers to deepen our communal living for the collective growth of the country.
I urge NIREC to use its traditional and religious capacities to further escalate its outreach to all Nigerians, especially our youth at the grassroots. Though the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria places the responsibility for security and safety on government, all citizens must be actively involved. This calls for better understanding and appreciation of the environment and perception of the significance of our collective efforts.
The meeting was attended by the representatives of FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello, the Khan chairman, the Sultan of Sokoto, representative of the German ambassador to Nigeria, religious leaders, traditional rulers, NIREC youths, amongst others. Damilola Abudu, SignatureTV News, Abuja.
Josephine Okereke, the wife of the newspaper vendor, shot and killed by a Department of State Services operative attached to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has disowned her husband's family over their demand for 500 million naira compensation. Josephine spoke at a press conference in Abuja on Thursday. The family of Ojukwu Okereke had written to Gbajabiamila demanding 500 million naira. Lawyer to the family, Chief Mike Ozekomesan, in a letter dated November 23, 2020, said he was given the mandate to write the letter by the father of the deceased, Okori Okereke, and the younger brother to the deceased, Destiny Okereke. The DSS had last week arrested the operative, Abdullahi Hassan, who shot Okereke, while Gbajabiamila had also visited the family of the deceased and promised to ensure that they do not suffer. However, the family demanded more, adding that nothing could bring the dead vendor back to life. The widow, however, said she was not aware of the pre-litigation process, urging the speaker to ignore the family and fulfill his promises to her and her 2 children. And now to business news. The federal government is projecting an average of 250,000 barrels per day petroleum product refining capacity through the establishment of modular refineries. A modular refinery is a simplified refinery requiring significantly less capital investment than traditional full-scale refinery facilities. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timi Priye Silva, will make this known at the inauguration of the 5,000 barrels per day Walter Smith Modular Refinery and groundbreaking for a 45,000 barrel per day plant in Imo State. He expressed his support for modular refiners in a bid to meet government's target of becoming a net importer of petroleum products. He also noted that Nigeria was targeting 250,000 barrels per day refining through the modular refinery roadmap. In ensuring this, the government has taken bold steps in stabilizing the downstream oil sector with removal of petroleum subsidy and transition to deregulation of the sector. The idea, he said, is to free the market for private sector participation and drive competition with better products and better customer services. Bayelsa State Governor Senator Duoye Diri has said his administration cherishes the relationship with the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency NIMASA because the maritime sector has great potential for the economic advancement of the state. Diri, who stated this at a dinner organized in honor of the NIMASA Director General, Dr. Bashir Yusuf Jamo, and his entourage in Government House, Yenagoa, Tuesday night, stated that the riverine nature of the state makes the partnership with the agency imperative. Diri, in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Mr. Daniel Alabra, revealed that the visit marked the beginning of a new chapter in the relationship between the state and NIMASA. According to the governor, oil wealth will not last forever, hence the need to turn attention to the maritime sector, which holds great potential for the state's advancement economically. Despite the pandemic, the financial technology fintech payment space in Nigeria grew about 800%. The Chief Executive Officer of EcoBank, Patrick Akinwuton, stated this during a panel session at the FinTech Nigeria, the State of Play virtual conference. Akinwuton noted that the growth came directly from fintechs in collaboration with government agencies, indicating a huge trust in digital payment during the COVID-19 lockdown, which prevented people from moving from one place to the other. While calling for the proper regulation of the industry, the EcoBank CEO noted that the fintech space had been most active with payment and stressed the need for participations in savings and lending. On his part, the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Director Payment System Management, Musa Jimo Itokpa, said the country learned so many things from the pandemic in terms of payment. According to him, parts of the lessons were that technology created lots of opportunity to do the unthinkable, as with how activities from banks' fiscal branches, which promoted opportunity to leveraging artificial intelligence, AI, big data, Bitcoin, among others. He said that regulation of the fintech industry will come at the appropriate time, as regulation is driven by innovation, which will adopt the Apex Bank studies that provides required regulations and policy. Trading on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Thursday witnessed a fall in both the volume and value of stocks traded, after an impressive rise in all the indicators on Wednesday. On Wednesday, all the indicators, the volume, the value, the all-share index, and the total deals closed in the positive. However, on Thursday, the volume of stocks traded plunged to 457,555,941 from 434,922,233 traded on Wednesday, a 40.78% reduction. The value also went down from 6,913,130,582.69 naira to 3,529,621,383.59, a 48.94% fall. However, the all-share index rose to 34,803 from 34,769, a 0.10% rise. UPDC Real Estate Investment Fund was the top gainer among other 32 gainers. Its share price rose from 5 naira traded on Wednesday to 5.5, a 10% gain per share. However, Ruralex PLC was the topmost loser among other 21 losers. Its share price went down from 26 kobo at close on Wednesday to 24 kobo on Thursday, a 7.69% loss. Always remember that the second wave of COVID-19 is projected to go up at this time of the year. Please do well to stay safe, maintain physical and social distancing, and wear your face masks always. That's the Signature TV 30 Minutes. On behalf of my producer, Abel Kure, and our team, I am Vin Martin Obiorailo, thanking you for watching.